Hi, this is Christy Matthews with KetoFitandTrim.com. I hope you're having a great day. And I've got a question for you. And it's a question that some people ask is, why is keto not working for me? Well, I'm going to break it down for you, and it's quite simple. The answer is just not doing it correctly. And I'm going to go through some of the indicators that will show you that you are either doing it correctly or you're not. But before I get started on all of this, keto is just not about weight loss. It's about a style of living, a lifestyle, a way of eating, a way of getting very important nutrients into your body and actually treating your body the way it should be treated. And if you're doing keto to lose weight and that's not happening right away, you do need to look at some other indicators to see if keto really is working. I'm going to go over that with you in just a moment. The point I'm trying to make is that you have to get healthy to be able to lose weight. Weight gain is an indicator of unwellness, of not being healthy. So once you start healing your body and you become healthy, you're going to find that the weight is going to drop off. And that's been my own experience as well. My first 3 months, yes, I lost about 25 pounds. But what happened in that 3 months was other things that were much greater that had happened, such as reduced pain, increased energy, that type of thing that I didn't expect. In fact, on any diet I had ever been on before, I always felt more tired and more fatigued, and that was not the case with keto. So let me go over the indicators if you are doing keto correctly. Number one, you're going to have an increase in energy. I know that was my experience. It's definitely not something I had expected. Number two, your cravings are going to decrease significantly or go away entirely. I was a salt and sugar craver. And if I had just a little bit of taste of sugar in my mouth, I wanted more of it, and the same with salt. And salt was an indication of the adrenal fatigue that I was feeling, and sugar was just an addiction to, the insulin spikes and glycemic spikes that were occurring in my body based on the things that I was eating, even though I was eating quote unquote healthy things. Number three, you should not be hungry. If you're doing keto correctly, you should not be hungry. You should be able to go long periods of time and not feel hunger. And that's my dogs. They're contributing to the video. So if you have any of these things, if you have a decrease in energy, if you have cravings, if you are hungry all the time, you're just not doing keto correctly. Now, number two, let's talk about what you're not doing correctly, and let's see if these are some of the things that are happening. You're eating when you're not hungry. If you're just snacking and putting food in your mouth and you're not hungry at all, you're not doing keto correctly. If you're eating fruit, fruit is the killer to ketosis. If you're going to eat any kind of fruit, you want to eat the berries and eat a very small amount of them. But other than that, absolutely no fruit. You might be eating too much lean protein. Okay, you need to eat fattier cuts of meat. Eating lean protein is only going to spike your glycemic index more, and that's not something that you want to have. You want to eat that fatty protein. You're not eating any greens. Maybe you don't like vegetables. I get that. But I'm sure that there's something that you do like that's in the vegetable family. Let's say you like peppers, for instance. Eat peppers. Yes, peppers can have a problem for you if you have, like fibromyalgia. Eating too many peppers because they're in the nightshade family can activate some of the pain receptors in your body. But you know what? If you're not eating any vegetables and you'll eat peppers and eat peppers, okay? Because it's better than not eating any of the greens. The reason why you need vegetables is so that you can keep your potassium and your magnesium levels up. It's extremely important that you do that. That's one of the reasons why people get the keto flu, okay, and feel terrible when they start keto, because they're not getting enough potassium and magnesium and sodium in their diets. Also, if you're not consuming apple cider vinegar with each of your meals, you're not doing keto correctly. Incorporating apple cider vinegar is so important. And how you do it, you just take a little teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, put a little squirt of lemon juice in it, fresh lemon. You can even use some of that unsweetened concentrated lemon, organic stuff. A little squirt in your cup, fill it up with water and take it down. Do that with each meal. It's going to help increase the acid in your stomach so you can digest, break down the food that's in your stomach so you can actually absorb those minerals that are in the food. Okay, number 3. Another reason why keto may not be working for you is that your macros might be off. We've talked about this before. You want to make sure that you're getting about 70% of your daily intake through healthy fats. Now, what does that look like on a plate? It's about a quarter of your plate. If you take, maybe a 9-inch plate, half of it should be all carbohydrates. And your carbohydrates is your greens. It's not fruit. Okay, it's not potatoes, not that. You want to have your green leafy vegetables, or if you're that pepper eater, you eat the peppers. Okay, a quarter of the plate is your fats, healthy fats, because they're high in calories and they're a high percentage of your macros, but volume-wise, it's very low. And then the other quarter size of your plate is going to be your protein. It's going to be 3 to 6 ounces of protein per meal. And you don't have to get into the measurement of grams and all of that. It usually works out to 20-25% of your daily intake is from your protein sources. But on your plate, volume-wise, it's about a quarter size of the plate, and it's 3 to 6 ounces in weight measurement of per meal. Okay, so I hope that helps. Number 4. Now, we've talked about macros quite a bit. Let's talk about the micronutrients. How do you get how do you get the micronutrients? Is by increasing the quality of your food. How do you get the quality of food? You eat wild-caught salmon. Don't eat any of that farm stuff. Eat organic, pasture-raised eggs. Okay, very important. You want to use organic cream. You don't want to have anything that comes out of a manufactured process that's not organic. Okay, you want wild-caught or grass-fed meats, and you want to eat salads. Increase your greens. Don't eat iceberg lettuce. Use kale, use spinach, that type of thing. Very high quality greens, and make sure that they are organic. Okay, and lastly, here are some of the other indicators that will happen as you get moving along with ketosis, okay? Your skin's going to improve. I know I did. My skin, I very rarely get a blemish anymore, very rarely. And my skin looks so much younger than it did in the past. If you go back and look at some videos from 2 years ago, you're going to see a big difference in my skin. You're going to have increased mood. I know that for me, I am generally always in a good mood. And with everything that's been going on in my life, I maintain a great mood. And that's not the case that was happening prior to my ketosis journey. I was depressed, wiped out, fatigued, just all the time angry. And I'm not that way anymore in any way. It's amazing what our diet does to the hormones in our body. Cognition, my brain functions so much better. And most people that I know that are doing keto correctly, that's one of the first things that they talk about. And that is one of the indicators as to why keto is becoming so important to Alzheimer's researchers. Very, very important. And this is the one thing that I noticed right away when I started keto is the pain in my body, inflammation, the chronic pain caused from fibromyalgia, just the volume. I always said fibromyalgia pain was like turning a volume knob up or down. And for me, it was always on high. When I started keto, and about 3 months in, I remember telling my husband and saying, you know what, Jim, I just don't feel as sore as I used to. And I got to think it could have something to do with keto. And sure enough, that's what happened. Now, I still get fibromyalgia flares, but not like they used to be. And of course, if I went back to some of the old habits that I had, I'm sure I would have more of them. But the way I'm going right now and with the way I'm living my lifestyle, I keep fibromyalgia dialed down to a point to where it's manageable, and I allow fibromyalgia to guide me. If I'm feeling a little flared up, if I'm feeling a little too sore, it helps me take a look at what I'm doing and see if there's something that maybe I ate that I shouldn't have eaten, or I'm not getting enough rest, that type of thing. Whereas before, I couldn't use fibromyalgia as a guide at all. So that was huge for me. So it's not always about the weight loss, guys. It just isn't. It's about everything else, about this wonderful lifestyle. So if you're saying that keto is not for you or it's not working for you, I invite you to take another look at this, because quite frankly, from a metabolic standpoint, keto should work for everybody if you're doing it correctly. So I hope that you got value from today's video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're seeing this on YouTube, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate this. If you're seeing this on one of the other social networks like Facebook, would you please share this video? I know that there's some people out there that need to get this information. So you have a great day, and thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye now.